It seemed like it was just a few days ago on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Todd Pinkney, one of our P1s who came to our Seattle Kraken expansion draft watch party the other night, asks if Monty the Squirrel's going to use the lawnmower 4.0 to trim his nuts. I was thinking more, how about that? But
How about that?
it's not an unreasonable question.
No, it is not.
Monty the Squirrel. Can we get that done up by the end of the show? And I'm in favor of your mom sewing the costume this time.
You are?
Yes.
Are you watching?
Paula?
She's probably watching.
What's going on back here? They're all laughing back there. Oh, I'd wonder. Oh.
Because then you paused. And I was like, this? In favor of her? What?
I know. I heard them bust out laughing. I'm like, what are you?
And then you sewing the costume, and it's like, just disarmed me. I'm like, okay, we're good. She can sew the costume.
I'm in favor of your mom.
What? Say it. Say it.
Stay tuned, sit back, enjoy. Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Now,
You all didn't know the old me, that for 40 years, Darren, I was a kamikaze. The fact that I'm alive is a miracle.
how about that?
I've ridden steers, jumped off cliffs, been shot and been shot at, and I survived it all.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show. What'd I tell you, Darren? It's a
What?
Monday. I was just looking down here, and my earpiece is wah, 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 Charlie Brown's Teacher. And I just look in the light. The light's brown. That can't be good.
Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm pulling this out, and away we go on a Monday.
Good.
How you doing, Moose?
I am well.
Did you submit your photos to Morgan?
I don't know if I did.
I'll take that as a no.
I didn't do my homework.
I'll do that. I'll take that
they
as a
got
no.
them. I did
Okay.
post them, and I used the hashtag.
And I forgot my laptop as well. So I got Moose's laptop here as we get ready to do that. Other than that, how do you like us so far?
How about
It's a
that?
Monday. It's episode number 535 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. And coming up on the program today, what's become my good friend Ron Duguay, the ageless Ron Duguay, the Bon Jovi of the National Hockey League before there was a Bon Jovi. Dukes will be joining us from Florida. And Nate Ewell will be joining us from College Hockey Inc. to talk about a recap of the NHL entry draft on the weekend. But we are going to have a lot of football. We're going to have a lot of football. I have, by the way, no communication with the mothership. I feel like the astronaut floating off the rocket,
Yeah.
and the cord's been cut.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out there, Jerry. And if Bryn wants to come and crawl underneath and fix these batteries, that would be a good thing while we're here in the warm-up for Eco Electric. But before we go any further, and before we do the quick six, do we have photos or just mine for the weekend photo album from Great Western?
We got 5 photos.
We do have photos?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we got, Clark? Can we show the Great Western Beer Summer Photo Album? That was doing a little off-roading with Big Bird last night, Moose.
It looks
How about
great.
that?
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Fire it up. Let's go get this thing stuck. Who sings it? Florida Georgia Line. This is J-Rod. I went to visit J-Rod on Saturday and dropped off that shirt. I sent him your regards.
Good.
Moose, because I told him that you were out of town.
Yep, no, and I said I wish I could be there, and he said, I'm not going anywhere, so we'll see you soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, those were my photos. What are these?
This is
that
Nelkin
paintball?
Hakowich's photo.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's paintballing. That's pretty great. Got out with his crew on the weekend, so there you go. Good job. Nice one submitted by Nelson. There's Clark.
Golfing with his dad, I see.
Yep. Awesome. Katepwa.
Couple of chips off the old block.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
changed, Bryn.
And that was me at the lake. That was me at the lake with my cousin's dog, Rupert. We were just
I
hanging out.
wondered who Rupert was.
Yeah, my cousin's dog, and that's out at Manitou Beach, So I had a great Western and sat on the deck and cuddled with the dog. It was great.
That's a great weekend.
It was awesome.
Great Western beer. I don't have my laptop in front of me for the read from Great Western Lager, but it is the official beer of summer here in the Rectangle. How about that?
Yes.
That's mine.
How
I'm going
about
to
that?
read some of the comments here. Faye Lowther checking in from Truro, Nova Scotia. Hi, Rod. Just wanted to say hi. Can't wait to see Brett kick off. So excited. Love you. Love you too, Faye. I can't wait. What do they got this global kicker out there kicking field goals for the Rough Riders in the weekend? What? Giving Brett the day off? Jason Wall checking in from Manitoba says, bring back the Walkman headphones. Thinking about it. But you didn't even know. Bryn crawled underneath the desk. Did you see that?
I did.
He swatted this thing a couple times. I was like, what are you doing? Yeehaw! He goes, no, we have to change the batteries. I'm like, that's what I said.
So he didn't come out here with new batteries?
He just headed no, he didn't.
Okay.
He just came out and hit this thing a couple times.
All right.
Usually it works. He thinks he's Arthur Fonzarelli.
How about that?
Anyways, he said next commercial break he'll fix the batteries. So let's go with the quick six show topics, please. Enough Mickey Mousin'. Number one, the Olympics. Are you into the Olympics? I'm very much into the Olympics. I was watching what I thought was karate on the weekend. Turns out that it was judo. But this young lady, and I believe it was Jessica Klimkate, she won. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. I thought it was karate. Turns out it was judo. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did.
Well, that's sort of like going, well, I thought it was hockey. Turns out it was lacrosse, I guess. But anyways, I put it in my 10 Things column on the weekend that she was interviewed after winning her match. I don't know if you read my column or not, but they said, how did you feel after you won your match? And she's like, or what were you thinking? She was, I thought of my mom. She's been taking me to practices ever since I was 9, and I'm 32 now, so do the math. And she started crying, and I'm like, this is what I'm here for the Olympics, the amateur athletes giving their all. You know, a lifetime of struggling to get there and then to win. So I've watched some judo, soccer, which ESPN calls soccer, TSN calls football. Christine Sinclair's out there. That's what I know.
Oh, yeah.
And my good friend Bob's niece, the guy that I had coffee with yesterday, his niece is on Team Canada. So I'm getting into it. And I can't believe the negative Nelsons out there that are saying, oh, it's time that we do away with the Olympics. This is a waste of money. This is a waste of time. I'm like, what? I'm not going to give 2 squirts of sweat for your opinion on that. This is the Olympics, man. Are you hearing that stupid bunk?
I know, right? They're saying it doesn't matter and forget about it. But no, it matters. Absolutely. And every athlete that's there, tell the athletes that it doesn't matter, right? It matters to them. And you even look at the pro athletes. I mean, USA men's basketball, not off to a great start, the loss to France.
Right.
But it matters to those guys to be a part of that group. And you talk to the players in the National Hockey League, it matters to them to be a part of the Olympics, right? That means something. And, you look at all these Olympic years, when you win gold, it matters. And conveniently enough, as the NHL released their schedule, there's an Olympic break in February.
Nice.
I know we haven't confirmed that NHL players are going, but they've left the door open, and that's a huge, huge win.
Well, we're into the Olympics. And by the way, hey, Bryn, pop up for a second. Give us a wave. Everybody, this is Bryn. That is not even a joke. He's fixing my earphones as we speak. The poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is this. Our over-under for Canadian medals is 20.5 in Japan. What are you taking? And on Twitter, 56% are taking the under. Moose, what do they got on?
Yeah, 53% are taking the under. And I think, what did you say, 22 medals?
In the last one.
In the last one, and the one before that was 18. So we kind of went right in the middle with 20 and a half and set the over-under accordingly. So we'll see where it goes.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah, me too.
22 medals. 20.5 is the over-under. Thank you, Bryn. That's working like a charm.
Oh, yeah.
Rod can stop whining now. World's fastest pit crew right here.
Yeah.
This will be an interesting story to follow throughout the day. And I have an expansive Olympic update coming up later on here in hour 1. So let's move along here in the warm-up for ECOL Electric.
Yeah.
Check out the new Regina Data and Lighting Center. Ecole Electric, let's get to work. I memorized that one. CFL camps. Today marks the start of day 3. I was on CJOB Radio Winnipeg today talking with the lovely and talented Cam Poitras, and he asked, how are ticket sales out there in Saskatchewan for the Rough Riders? I said, I don't have any idea, but I know on Saturday that they had their green and white scrimmage. They capped attendance at 5,000, but 2,882 showed up. Take that for what it is. Those that were there loved it. The scrimmage itself, no touchdowns were scored offensively. I'm trying to get the information across. Like, I don't understand. I've said this several times. Hamilton, they had 3,000 at their scrimmage at the Coffee Cup yesterday, Tim Hortons Field. But they have 15,000 at BMO, didn't they? Mm-hmm. For a soccer game for Toronto FC. Here, the Premier said, full stadium by the end of summer. And here we are halfway through, a month away from the end of summer, and it's at 5,000. I don't understand it. So I don't know why did I not go to the scrimmage? I thought, A, I don't want to be the 5,001st person and not be able to get in. 2, I got a call Saturday morning saying it's just a practice, don't bother going. And 3, it was a beautiful day, and I saw the comment from the Rough Riders coach afterwards saying they weren't ready to play football. I thought, well, if they're not ready to play football, then I'm really glad that I didn't go to the game. And then I realized that's not what he meant. He meant they weren't physically ready. He said their tongues were hanging out. This was game pace. And I'm like, oh, boy. Well, at least they got 2 weeks to wait before they play an actual game. Folks, I've covered 20 CFL training camps, like boots on the ground, in the trenches with them. Day 5 gets monotonous. Today, I believe, is day 17. Monotony has set in. And talking on CJOB 68, Manitoba's information superstation today with Cam, I said the story remains the injuries. And Naaman Roosevelt being cut today by the Montreal Alouettes. 5 years in the NFL, 1,000-yard credential receiver here. He was cut. Calvin McCarty signing with the Calgary Stampeders. He had announced his retirement. He's come out of retirement. That's a switch, Moose.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else is retiring. Calvin McCarty's doing the opposite. And he's a friend of this show, and he's been on the show. So we're coming on Wednesday, Clark tells me. Thank you. So basically, what I'm getting, the drift of everything is that, and I've kind of morphed into point 3 here of what's going on in the CFL. Everybody's just happy that the CFL's back and they're in training camp, and that includes the players, the coaches, the executives, obviously the fans, and they will be kicking off on TSN next weekend. Bob's your uncle. But it's just not normal. It's clearly not normal, right? And there's no games to pick apart even in the preseason. So that's my take on what's going on in the CFL right now. Just glad that they're back, but it ain't normal. What's your take on? What are you following?
It's not normal, that's for sure. The Calvin McCarty thing is fun and nice to follow it. I'm interested to see what the role is with the Stampeders and how much they use him. I mean, I've been doing a lot of reading on it too, but he's one of those guys. Of all the running backs, there's only 4 that have played 200 games. He's one of them. So that was pretty interesting.
Right.
And Naaman Roosevelt, will he get picked up? I know I've seen Manny Arsenault as a veteran receiver, putting his name out there on social media saying, hey, I'm ready if you want a veteran leader who's done this before, right? But you got Naaman available, and he's only played 5 seasons in Saskatchewan, going to go play his 6th in Montreal, gets released, twice 1,000 yards. He almost had 1,000 yards in 2019. So Naaman's a very interesting piece to see if he sticks somewhere else.
Point 4, NHL draft leftovers here in the warm-up. I really enjoyed the draft coverage. I didn't watch any on Saturday. It was like Friday night I watched quite a bit.
Yeah.
My rooting interest was Cole Sillinger, the son of 18-year NHLer Mike Sillinger. They've sat in that chair right there. He went to the Columbus Blue Jackets, which, of course, everybody's saying, poor kid. But he's just happy to be drafted. I was talking to some Golden Knights people on the weekend, and they're very excited with their draft. And they're like, Michigan. What's with Michigan? The number 1 selection came out of Michigan, but wasn't it 3 of the top 5 or something ridiculous?
Yeah, it was insane.
Michigan Wolverines.
And another kid who's committed to Michigan. So it's like 4 Michigan players, in the top 10 of the draft. It's very, very special for that program. And you want to increase recruiting. You want to increase ticket sales. You want to sell more merchandise. have 4 guys drafted in the top end of the NHL entry draft. Pretty wild. Usually we see a lot of, UND or CHL players going in those top spots, but this is NCAA kind of having a coming out party.
Yes, but there were 33 Western Hockey League players drafted in the National Hockey League entry draft on this weekend. The most of any league. Still the kings of NHL draft player development, the Western Hockey League. I'm just going to throw that out there. And I do have to say, by the way, that the Seattle Kraken, with their second-round pick, the 35th overall selection, went with the defenseman from God's team, the Regina Pats, Riker Evans. And how about that? We called his games in the Regina bubble. I said he's a junior hockey version of Ray Bourque. And nobody jumped down my throat because I prefaced that by saying, junior hockey version of Ray Bourque, okay? 1.1 points a game, 12-game point streak, off the glass and out, great skater. I'm not saying he's Ray Bourque. I'm saying he's the junior hockey Ray Bourque.
I know, I liked you wrote that, and then in brackets, in capital, junior hockey, just so you are clear here. But you're right. He's steady. He's consistent. He's not flashy, not going to make mistakes, reliable. All those things that, put Ray Bourque in the Hall of Fame.
Drew Koser watching from the Pilot Butte Storm. He's the Brent Sutter of the Prairie Junior Hockey League. He says 4 of the top 5 picks, University of Michigan.
Yeah, 3 players and a recruit.
Sheesh. We got to speed up here because Dukes is logged on and ready to go right after this first commercial break. 5 NHL camps opening this week. They're saying that Tom Brady's video where he threw the football into the jugs machine 3 times, they're saying it's doctored. They're saying it's doctored.
No.
Well, I know. People are saying Tom wouldn't do that. Tom also wouldn't deflate footballs in the AFC Championship game too, right? And listen, I'm a Tom Brady guy. But I've been around those jugs machines my entire adult life. There's no way that you can fire it. It's like putting a bullet back in a gun. It doesn't happen. The other thing, Dak Prescott in Dallas, or in Oxnard, California, where the Dallas Cowboys training camp is, he says they're going to have the number 1 offense in the National Football League this year. This is what I say. Shut up, Dakota, and just go play football and stop talking. Finish the season, and let's talk. And anything less of an NFC Championship game is a failure for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Stop the talking and start playing. And point 6, the Toronto Blue Jays, they're in a swoon. They've lost 4 of 5. They open up a massive series at Boston this week. Massive, because they've fallen 9.5 off the pace behind the Red Sox in the American League East. I was going to do a poll question today. Will the Blue Jays make the playoffs? But we can save it for later in the week.
Yeah.
Last week, I was feeling really good about it.
So was I.
And this week, I'm not. Anyways, we'll pause. This has been the warm-up, covering all the weekend sports topics, and today's brought to you by E-Cole Electric. Ron Duguay joins us next. You know he'll have plenty to say. You're watching the Rod Pedersen Show across the Game Plus television network. All 10 provinces in Canada, 31 states in the U.S. on TV. Streaming on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com. Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Welcome back, everybody, on this Monday. Canada's daytime sports talk show rolling. We'll be recapping the NHL draft with Nate Ewell from College Hockey Inc. coming up. Plus, we got a lot of football things to get to. But I would not be remiss in calling Ron Duguay an NHL great. 860 games in the league with the Rangers, Wings, Penguins, Kings, and then bounced around the minors where that was a lot of fun, too. Ron Duguay joins us today on video chat. I'm very interested to know. How you doing, Dukes?
I'm doing well. You had mentioned earlier about the Olympics, and I've been watching a lot of Olympics because being a Canadian, I'm rooting for all our athletes and all sports. And in fact, yesterday I was watching volleyball because I like to play beach volleyball. I go to California, play beach volleyball with my kids because they grew up playing. So now I have the tendency to watch sports that I prefer. And the Canadians are doing really well.
Yep. That doesn't surprise me at all. And as a matter of fact, I was going to ask you which sports caught your eye. I'm not surprised it would be that. I have missed that. What other sports have you noticed for Canada or any other sports?
Well, the swimming, of course, is always. I enjoy watching the swimming because it's kind of intense, right? For whatever long it takes for whatever swim it is, it's so close, so intense, and you're at the edge of your seat. And you're rooting for your Canadians. And at different categories were pretty good and others were not. But I like swimming. And then I'm looking forward to track and field.
Yeah. Hey, I got to ask you this. And I could sit and talk Olympics with you all day. I got this notification from USA Today on my phone on the weekend that America didn't have a medal in one day for the first time ever. It might have been the first day of the Olympics. It was headline news that America was shut out of medals. Can you talk about the industry that is the Olympics in America? Because in Canada, it's not that, right? Our athletes are eating out of pork and beans out of a can. It's an industry down there.
Yes, big business. wherever there's money to be made, you're going to see money being thrown at certain things. And for the Olympics, I think the Americans want to be able to dominate regardless what it is. And I think the expectation also for the United States to be a powerhouse is high. And so a lot of money is thrown at it. Now, I could never understand why Canada hasn't gotten behind their athletes and helped them a little bit more. Over the years, you've always wondered that. I don't know the answer to that, but still our Canadians find a way to compete, and I think they represent themselves well.
Yeah, it is actually a sad story. Darren was just saying before you came on, or maybe you saw that there's a hole in the NHL schedule for the Olympics. Is it next? Obviously this year coming up. So how are you on NHL participation in the Olympics? Clearly, I love it as a fan. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think you have to ask the players. And if you ask the players, see, I've been in a different version of playing the Olympics. I played for Canada Cup. I wear the flag on my chest, and I've done it a couple times. Junior tournament, junior championship, I think it was in Czechoslovakia in 1976, and then Canada Cup. So I've had the privilege of being able to do that. I'm telling you, there's something different about that. Now, I've competed for the Stanley Cup. I wore the Ranger jersey. But when you compete for your country, there's something much different. And if you ask the players, they all love it. You ask the Sidney Crosby, he doesn't care. He will do it. Gretzky did it. Gretzky did it while winning Stanley Cups, right? Playing for Canada Cup. And so if you ask the players, they love it. Again, I go back to what I said earlier. It's business. It's money. And I'm sure the NHL wants to do it. But financially, it's got to be worth it to them. And this thing that they worry about their players getting hurt, I'm like, please, can we stop that? I mean, players can get hurt in a practice, right? And let's stop worrying about players may get hurt in a game. You know, you hear owners, well, I don't want my player to get hurt. Well, so what? You know, move on from that, because what you get from the entertainment value of watching your players, I think for what the exposure you give to the NHL across the world is bigger than a player or two getting hurt. That's just part of it.
Bravo. And by the way, I broadcast the World Juniors on Sportsnet radio network, and just as a broadcaster, we felt like we were representing Canada, Ron. And when the trainer threw me a Canada tracksuit, my knees started to knock. Like it's just a different feeling. You're right. And I appreciate it. Which Canada Cup did you play in, by the way? Was it 87, the fun one, Mario, Mike, and the great one, or which Canada Cup was it?
No, it was in 81. We lost in the finals to the Russians. I think we got beat really bad. I think it was 8-1. Mike Liu was a net. But that team itself, for me, because I was just a young man, I think I was 23. For me to make that team with all the Hall of Famers were on that team is probably my biggest achievement. But, yeah, a big disappointment for me to make it, and then we lose in the finals, because really we were the favorites to win, although it was really close between us and the Russians. I think Larionov was a rookie that year, and I think he scored 2 or 3 goals in that final game. But I got to play with Butch Goring and Bob Gainey as line mates on a checking line. And Scotty Bowman, of course, legendary Scotty Bowman was the coach. So I got a funny story about that, but we'll save it for another time.
Hey, Ron Duguay with us, by the way. He's the best. From Winnipeg. We got a lot of viewers in Winnipeg want to chat with you today, Dukes, which you were drafted by the Jets, correct? WHA, yeah. Tacona Powley is his name. He says, looking good, Dukes. How long have you had the short hair? I think he speaks for all of us wanting to know when you got rid of the Bon Jovi look.
I think it's almost 4 years now. I have a representation. I have an agent who will be very honest with me. About 4 years ago, he said, Ron, I'm trying to get you endorsements. And what comes back to him is that people will say, well, Ron is stuck in the 80s. He still looks like he's in the 80s. He's got an earring on. He's got long hair. And it just doesn't fit for our product. So he came to me one day. He said, Ron, listen, let's have some fun with this. We're going to do a makeover on you. So I'm like, what do you mean? Well, we're going to cut your hair. I'm like, no, you don't understand. That's just who I am. And he goes, no, we're going to do this. It's going to be fun. We're going to do it live on TV in New York on Fox. I said, really? Yeah, we're going to do the whole thing. Not only your hair, but your clothing, because what you're wearing is kind of loud. And so we did this whole thing on Fox, and I hated it at the time. But now, today, when I look back at what I look like, I'm like, what was I thinking? And so I love the short hair, and I go with the idea older, shorter. Older, shorter, meaning shorter hair if you're older. And I say the same, even so, yeah.
Short hair, don't care. By the way, my daughter said to me, Dad, you're stuck in the 80s. And I said, thank you. I took that as a compliment, Dukes. Chris Bird in Toronto says, no, Bon Jovi has the Ron Duguay look. And that's fair because you were around before John Bon Jovi, the New Jersey great. The one thing I wanted to know the most from you, Dukes, was your thought on the hiring of Gerard Gallant to take over the Rangers, because quite frankly, he wasn't on a lot of people's boards. I was a fan of Chris Knobloch, the Hartford Wolfpack coach, moving in there. But Gerard got it. What's your thoughts on where they're going with him?
Well, as you know, him and I played together in Detroit. So I got to know what he was like as a teammate, got to know what he was like as a player. And I've gotten to know him as a person off the ice. And he's from Newfoundland. He's an old school guy. He's a no-nonsense guy. And when you look at what he's done in his career as a coach, looking back as a player, he was a skilled guy and he could score goals. He was a good player. He knew how to think the game. He knew how to play the game. He knew how to play defense and offense. So then he started coaching, and he's got a pretty good coaching career. And when you look at what he did in Vegas right out of the gate, he was able to put this group of guys together that hadn't played together. He found a way to win. Now, why they let him go, I'm not quite sure. I think it's because of his way of thinking. He's not into analytics. He knows how to talk to players. He knows how to judge players. He knows how to be close and not close, keep his distance. And so I've had conversations with him in the last few years. And so I believe he's the right guy for this job because it's a young group. The big knock on this team, which I criticized all year, is that what are they thinking? This team is skilled team, young, but way too soft. When you start thinking about how are you going to win in the playoffs, right? You watch the compete level and the grit of some of these players that win. The Rangers aren't that team. And so I think, when Jim Dolan, the owner, steps in and said, look, I don't like this team. We need to make some changes. Now, he fired everyone, and that's kind of who Jim is. And I'm not sure I had a conversation with Glenn Sather because Glenn is now back. But they felt like they need to make some changes. It's not I was going to win in the playoffs.
Well said. I appreciate it. And Mark Messier, nowhere around the club, which we kind of thought maybe they would. Got a viewer checking in on YouTube, Trevor Casterlin. He says, good morning from sunny Lexington, Missouri. How about that? That's a new viewer, Moose. Any questions for Ron Duguay, fire him at us. We don't have much more time with Ron, but we do have a lot of viewers in Winnipeg on television, Dukes. So Tacona in Winnipeg says, did Ron ever wish he played in Winnipeg, possibly with the hot line of Hedberg and Nilsson? How close were you?
Well, did they have a Studio 54 in Winnipeg?
No, but they do have a Hooters, which I guess Manhattan does have a.
You know what? I would have been happy going anywhere, playing the NHL. It wasn't when I was sitting around thinking, where do I want to go play? I just want to play in the NHL. Had I gone to Winnipeg, my career might have been different. I might have lasted a little bit longer on the one team because of a lot of distractions in New York. No, every time I went to Winnipeg, I played well there. I appreciated the Canadian fans. And no, I would have been fine playing in Winnipeg, and they did have some skilled players there.
Well, you went in as a road team, so, I mean, there is only one Palomino club in the world, and it doesn't exist anymore. But I'll tell you, Manhattan didn't have a Palomino club. That was a great spot. Dan Saravelli's watching in Swift Current. Dan, the situation, Saravelli, he says, Ron, what did you think of Philly? I think he just means a broad. What did you think of Philly as a city and playing in there?
That was very difficult because I had come in the league in '77. That's after they won 2 Stanley Cups, and they won it in a certain way, which was intimidate your opponent with Dave Schultz, Kelly, you name it. Half of that team were tough guys that were wanting to hurt you when you played in Philly. And so as a rookie, and I remember my first year in training camp, we're playing against Philadelphia. Sure enough, we got Nick Fatio on the team. Sure enough, a brawl breaks out, and that lasted forever. And I can remember being paired up with Dave Hoyta, which I think Dave Hoyta might be from Winnipeg. And so you had to man up pretty quick for me. But overall, playing in Philly, it either brought the best out of you or you're going to be afraid. And for me, I saw a lot of this type of hockey in the juniors playing in Sudbury. So I was kind of accustomed to having to defend yourself, having to man up, having to play hard, and getting yourself mentally prepared to play in a difficult situation. And so it brought the best out of me. When you look at my numbers in Philly, I played really well because there was no stop and go. There was like, you're playing hard, move fast, keep your head up, and just don't let anybody try to intimidate you and try to bully you. Now, I fought a few of the tougher guys to kind of let them know that I was willing to fight. And so that kind of set the tone. And I think I got some respect that way, but it was difficult. Not only was it difficult on the ice, but it was difficult with the fans because back then the glass was really low. So they can actually, in warm up, kind of hang over the glass. And they love me there. They call me every name in the book. So in warm up, I couldn't even skate near the glass. I had to stay near the center of the ice because of the abuse I took there, the mental abuse I took from fans. So, yeah, very difficult.
Every time we have you on, we get an ambush of hate from Islanders fans. I can just imagine what you got. Lee Horton says, the first time I met you, Ron, in Winnipeg, you were wearing the biggest fur coat. You rocked it. I could go on for this all day. What was the story on the fur coat? Full length?
The fur coat, yeah, it was full length. I don't remember the type of fur, but it was the style back then. A lot of the Knick players were wearing the big hats, the big fur coats, and as Rangers, we're watching them. I'm like, wow, that kind of looks good. So sure enough, I can't remember where we were. It might have been Atlanta, where it was known that NHLers, they go there to get a discount fur coat. So a lot of us had the fur coat. Phil Esposito, I think, was the first. You look at old picture of Phil Esposito, big long fur coat. So it was kind of, I had 2 or 3 of them. So it was a style back.
Hey, last one, Ron, before I let you go. We've mentioned many times that you're in Florida. I don't need your address, but what city are you in? West Coast, East Coast, South Florida? Where are you at?
I'm right near, I'm northern part of Florida, near St. Augustine, near Jacksonville. I'm at the beaches, very quiet and quaint. And this is where I come whenever I need to kind of get grounded, because during the season, I'm going 100 miles an hour, although I haven't in the last year. I just come here and I'm by the beach and I get to relax. And it's just good for me to just get away from having, when I'm on the road and working, I'm having to be me with a certain energy. When I come back here, not many people know me, so I get to relax.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll let you get back to the relaxing. I love the visits as always, Dukes. Thanks for this. Enjoy the rest of the summer.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be on the show.
NHL great Ron Duguay. Many will say the coolest man to ever play in the National Hockey League, and it's a long list.
Oh, yeah.
They say he's at the top. So we've got a sports update coming up, an Olympic update, and more. It's episode number 535 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. Will return in a moment on the Game Plus TV network and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rob.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. I'm going to start viewer takeover early now. The Moose is here. How's the coffee, Moose?
Amazing.
It's
the breakfast blend from Caliber Coffee. It's awesome.
I'll be filling up at the top of the hour, okay?
All right.
I stopped at second cup on the way here. This is the first shot.
Okay.
Whatever you want, I'll say it again. The Prairie Mobile text line is on the charger. Just another thing that we didn't have ready to go to start a whole new week. But 306-840-8777. Write it down, please. Put it on your fridge, your coffee table, wherever you're watching on the Game Plus TV network. Shoot us a note. Are you ready, Moose, for Olympic update?
I'm ready.
Jessica Klimkate has won Canada's second medal of the day at the Tokyo Games. The reigning world champion defeated her Slovenian opponent to take bronze in the women's under 57 judo competition. Swimmer Maggie McNeil became Canada's first gold medalist in Tokyo with a win in the women's 100-meter butterfly. It's the second medal of the Games for the London, Ontario product. Canada's women's softball team posted an 8-1 win over Italy today in Yokohama. Larissa Franklin drove in 3 runs for Canada, who will now play for a medal in Tuesday's third-place match. This is like the World Juniors. Buckle in and zing, away you go.
Oh, yeah.
It's not slow. Summer McIntosh just missed a medal in her Olympic debut. The 14-year-old from Toronto finished 4th in the women's 400-meter freestyle after being in a medal position for much of the race. McIntosh is the youngest athlete in Canada's delegation. By the way, Jack, watching in Vulcan, Alberta, says Kiara Wardley is the youngest member of Canada's Olympic rugby team from my hometown, Vulcan, and the only Albertan on Team Canada. So thank you, Jack, for pointing that out. Canada's women's basketball team opened the Tokyo Games with a 72-68 loss to Serbia. Meanwhile, back here, CF Montreal dropped the 2-1 road decision to the New England Revolution in MLS play. It was the second straight loss for Montreal. Jake Virtanen's days with the Vancouver Canucks are over. Vancouver placed the 24-year-old on unconditional waivers for the purpose of a buyout. He was placed on leave May 1st following allegations of sexual misconduct. And the Toronto Blue Jays have dropped 4 of their last 5 games following a 5-4 road setback to the New York Mets. Toronto stranded 9 base runners as New York captured the rubber match of the 3-game series. Jays finished 14-4 in interleague play. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, the home of Vern's Pizza. Haven't had that in a while, Moose.
Oh,
I think it's time.
that's right.
And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Okay. I said viewer takeover. Whatever you want to talk about, that's how we know. That's how we win, right? Because we talk about what the viewers want to talk about. Or we'll sit here and talk about ourselves. Or not about ourselves, amongst ourselves. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, I really enjoyed the Ron Duguay interview. He is so entertaining and honest. That's something about us in recovery. We are, which I shouldn't speak for him. He did kind of hint at that one of his prior interviews. Entertaining and honest. Tacona Powell, he says, Rod, do you know what Barry Beck's up to these days? I believe he's living in Vancouver. Last I heard. That's all I know about Barry Beck. John Kirby in Edmonton writes, and I invited the question. So he says, when do you think the Raptors will be approved to play at home? How about we just enjoy the fact that Toronto Blue Jays are going to be home starting this weekend, and let's not worry about the Toronto Raptors. Hey, John, how about that?
Yeah, it won't be for a while. Should be soon-ish. When would they tip off? October or November?
November, yeah.
Yeah, so sometime in September.
Commissioner Adam Silver saying the last he spoke about this, and what was it at? Oh, the NBA Finals. He said that it's unclear when the Raptors are going to be, when the border is going to be open. So let's just worry about what's right in front of our face, John. The poll question today, by the way, for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, what is the over-under? Or the over-under is 20.5 for Canadian medals in Japan. What are you taking? 56% on Twitter saying you're taking the under, and same thing?
50-50.
50-50.
Right on the button.
Right on the snout.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Ye of little faith.
That's how you know we set a good over-under.
That is close.
Because they can't decide which way to go. You want enough bets on either side, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, good. One more from John, and then I'll move on. He says, are you coming to Edmonton for the CEBL Championship weekend? I think there's actually a solid chance because we've been invited.
Yeah.
We've been invited by the CEBL and by the Rattlers president, Brad Kraft. And I think, would you be willing to do that? Make a little roadie?
1,000%.
So we would do shows probably Thursday, Friday? I think that's a really good idea.
We would do shows Thursday, Friday from there, or we would drive Friday after our show's over.
Oh, but we wouldn't do a show. What's the point of going if we don't do a show?
To be there and watch the games.
Yeah, I guess.
They want us there. But we could do a show.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, says that there's, and this is kind of what I wanted. The question is what Jeff has written in with. If you guys can find it, Jeff Stamps. He says there's quite a battle brewing for the backup quarterback position behind Bo Levi Mitchell and Stampeders camp, because we've been saying, what are the stories in training camp?
Yeah.
Because you look at what's going on in the NFL, and they're opening camps, most tomorrow. Dak Prescott's running his mouth, saying they're going to have the best offense. Aaron Rodgers isn't showing up in Green Bay. What's going on in the CFL that there's interesting to talk about? And to me, the backup position behind Bo Levi Mitchell is an interesting story. I don't even know their names. Who is it? Who's there? Montel Coatzart still, I believe. Nick Fatty Arbuckle's gone to Toronto. So there's one story. Darren was talking about maybe going on the road to Calgary for something, some event. I said, let's go to a Stampeders game. Wouldn't that be a trip?
We could do that.
How about that?
Can somebody look up the Stampeders schedule? And what would be a great game for Moose and I to show up to in August at a Calgary game? And how would we be treated, by the way? I think there's only one way to find out, Moose.
Yeah, to go and find out. I think it would be tremendously exciting. I don't know. It's been, well, we didn't go in 2019 to any games. Do they still tailgate with the tents and stuff around?
Absolutely. It's the best tailgate in the CFL.
I know. So how cool would that be to go and tailgate and enjoy the whole experience?
Can you imagine?
Because I love that part of Stampeders games.
Count on it. We're going to take a timeout and continue with more viewer takeover. Coming up in hour 2 on Game Plus TV, Nate Ewell will be joining us from College Hockey Inc., and we want to find out what they're doing in Michigan.
And I'll get you the text line for the next segment.
Perfect. We'll be right back. You are watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook, live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pie. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Thanks for hanging in, everybody. Happy Monday. How's your Monday going so far? We got the Moose here. He had a great weekend. I feel like we didn't talk long enough about your weekend.
It's okay. It was good. I didn't do a lot on the weekend, but relaxed. I was out on the deck, and we were at Manitou Beach. So it was fun. It was windy most of the day, but my brother and his young family were there.
Good.
Yeah, mom and dad, and spent some time on the deck. And
enjoying a beautiful prairie summer.
Played lots of cards and all the fun stuff.
This is what I was hoping would happen with this show. I looked down, I said to the boys, look at these area codes that are coming in from our viewers. 438-204-289. 306, of course. Georges in Montreal writes from the 438. Howdy, guys. A lot of tough decisions with training camp cuts for the CFL teams. Eli Rogers and Naaman Roosevelt cuts go to show how much talent Montreal has at receiver. Go Als. You guys should come to McGill Stadium on opening night, August 27th versus Hamilton. Should be awesome. Were you listening?
Yes.
Do you think they'll have photos of us on the side of the stadium?
Oh, my God.
Do you know these two guys who broke into the stadium?
As we walk up there, it'll be our mug shots with, not allowed in, right?
Write it down. Put it in your folder there of all the cool things that you have.
August 27th.
But I think there might be a better chance of this. Clark has written on, and he said, the BC Lions are at the Calgary Stampeders on August the 12th. Clark went so far as to say that I should wear the BC Lions jersey that's hanging in the lobby. Imagine, hey, strolling in Conor McGregor style with a Lions
How about
jersey.
that?
Or Ric Flair style.
You would not leave alive.
It's not the first time that I've trolled in Calgary. Now from the 289, Adam from Hamilton. He says, the only thing I would hate more than the Argos is if they ceased to exist. I agree that Pinball Clemens may be their best and last hope to turn things around. Signed, Adam from Hamilton. I'm trying to be a positive Pete and just stay on the CFL's back. It's all great. I guess we'll find out, how many tickets they sell. If they haven't died yet, they're not going to die now.
I know.
The Toronto Argonauts. Not with MLSE owning them. William May writes from Canada's only border city, Lloydminster. You guys doing a show from Mosaic Stadium this year? Probably, like we did the last time. That was big.
Yeah.
That was ESPN style when we did that. I thank the IKS crew. Man, that was awesome. We should get some photos of that and throw them. Yeah, we'll be doing a show from Mosaic Stadium. I don't know when. Do you?
Probably Labor Day weekend to kick it off again.
Nice.
Yeah.
From Spiking Viking. Spiking Viking checking in from Gimli, Manitoba. It's a great fishing day from the 204. He just wants to let us know that he's watching, which I appreciate. But coming up next hour, we'll do more of this in the second half kickoff. Probably a lot of CFL talk, some NHL talk too, whatever you want. There's some NFL news here too that's come up this morning. Courtesy our content creator, Nelson Vo. Aaron Rodgers has spoken this morning, or at least to a contact. We'll talk about that coming up in hour 2.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Now,
you all didn't know the old me, that for 40 years, Darren, I was a kamikaze. The fact that I'm alive is a miracle.
How about that?
I've ridden steers, jumped off cliffs, been shot and been shot at, and I survived it all.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It's hour two, everybody. It's what we call the second half kickoff, and here we are. We've settled in.
Yeah.
I'm a little embarrassed at how hour one started, to be frank. Mahavlich. But this is better. This is the second half kickoff for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. You're home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. And what happened last hour, if you missed it? I didn't bring my laptop, which is a first in 535 shows. The text line's dead, which is a usual Monday thing. Yes. The batteries were dead in my headphones. Nobody's fault. But you think you might want to check that before you go to air, wouldn't you?
You would think.
You didn't have your photos ready for the...
No, we're all over the place. And everybody's playing a little role here.
Right. Nobody's pointing the finger at one guy.
Everybody's playing a role in this. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How about that?
So if you are just tuning in, where have you been? George in Montreal just asked if we would consider coming out for the Alouettes home opener against the Ticats, and quite frankly, I could think of nothing finer. Tacona Powley is watching in Winnipeg and says, "Don't do it, Rod. It's a trap. They're going to arrest you."
We'd like to invite you to the home opener.
Right.
At this stadium. Huh?
Listen, if they haven't arrested me yet in Montreal, they're not going to now.
And if you could show up 90 minutes to kick off at precisely this time,
Exactly.
So we could give you a grand tour.
Bring your passport.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, since we blew this one an hour ago, can we do it now? The photo album, can we do it again? Because I have the read here. The Great Western Brewing Company summer photo album. Share with us how you're enjoying the summer and get a chance to be featured on the RP Show by using the hashtags RP Show or hashtag GW Beer Summer. Are you able to do that, Clark, or no? There we go. Yeah, that's Big Bird. I was doing a little off-roading yesterday. Fired up. Let's go get this thing stuck as they sing And I loved it. It's fun. It's great weekend for that, right? That's our boy, J-Rod. Swung by, dropped off his shirt for him. He missed you, Moose, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
But you're going to come by one day wearing the RP Show shirt there.
Absolutely.
Rock Star of the Day, which incidentally, Milt Stiegel was our Rock Star of the Day on Friday. Touchdown, Regal. What else we got here? That's our boy Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, doing the paintball.
Yep.
Was that over in Moose Jaw?
Looks like it.
And this is Clark and his dad, Rod Monroe. Those guys look like they're chiseled out of a mountain, don't they?
I know, right? It's pretty good.
Great Western Lagers, the new great tasting beer to enjoy this summer. Locally made. Get your Great Western Lager at a store near you. Thanks, Clark, for putting that up there. Whatever you want to talk about. Yes.
So that spot, and this happens a couple of times this summer, that spot that I was at on the deck there with the dog.
Rupert.
He only showed up for the last day on Sunday, but Friday and Saturday, that's where I slept out there on the deck.
Good for you.
Under the stars.
It
was that kind of like summer nights. You don't get too many, you get a lot of those, but it happens about twice a summer.
How about that?
How about that? Sinclair Russell's watching in Northern Ontario, and he says, wow, a Florida Georgia Line song reference. Well done, Rod.
What has he won? Yeah. Whenever you can pick up that Rod's dropped a reference to a song or something, you should win a prize.
Stick around. You'll hear many from all genres and generations. Did you listen to Garden Party by Ricky Nelson on the weekend at all?
Of course I did.
How good is that song?
Amazing. That is like sitting on the deck with your feet up, right? You know, with the sun shining in the morning. Like, that's the kind of song it is. It's perfect.
That's what I used to do. From Jeff the Stamps fan, he says, some news you may all enjoy. Bo Levi has had a sore groin and isn't practicing. Should be ready for August 7th. I'm waiting to drop the Bo Levi Michelle reference at some point this summer. I'm not doing it now. But again, we talked about it an hour ago, but for the benefit of you people that weren't here an hour ago, it's day 17 of training camp, okay? And I've been to 20 of them full time. And by day 5, it's monotonous and guys want to go home and quit. Day 5. This is now day 17. Could Bo Levi Mitchell not be forgotten, or anybody else, for saying, I'm sore? You would think they're sore. I would think there'd be a problem if they weren't sore after 16 days of training camp. Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah. And in the heat that we've had. You know, we talk about training camp in the heat, and, you know, whether it's university football in August, they go through the real hot in August. We've had it at times and usually in May, camp's a lot cooler weather-wise in May, middle of May. Now we're doing it in the middle of July. So now you're in 30, 35-degree heat doing camp, 17 days of that. Yeah, you're going to be a little tired and a little sore. So it's going to happen.
One of our P1s, Todd Pinckney, watching, wants to know, sore groin, was it a manscaping incident? Maybe he forgot to turn the headlights on.
Hey, get in the ditch when you don't have the headlights on.
The Lawnmower 4.0, and actually the 3.0, has a headlight on it. I'm not even joking. Manscaped. Promotional consideration for the RP Show presented by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with a promo code RP Show at Manscaped. My gosh, I hope that's not the case for Bo Levi. Could happen. John in Winnipeg. John Ohm. I'm starting the Bo Levi Mitchell fan club. Rod, you in? It's too easy. Where are you going to hold your meetings? In a phone booth? Where's the
boom?
Yeah,
come on.
How about that?
I'm trying to move on from this, but the training camps are boring now.
Just when you think you're out, they
suck you back in. Oh my gosh, I was having coffee yesterday with my main dude Bob, and I'll just say this: a Grey Cup champion, a 3-time Grey Cup champion, stopped by. And he's like, what's going on with the football team? I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, oh, you're a hockey guy. I forgot. And I said, well, actually, this, and this. He hadn't gone to the green and white scrimmage, so I knew quite a bit of what was going on, but I didn't go to the scrimmage on Saturday. And I'll say it again. It was a beautiful day. I thought there'd be 5,000 people for sure there, and it was capped at 5,000. So I'm like, I'm not standing in line. Forget it. And then I had a call that morning saying, don't bother coming. It's a practice. It's just going to be a practice. So for all those reasons, I'm out, as Mark Cuban says on Shark Tank. And I don't think I missed anything. There was some injuries and so forth. The main thing that I'm hearing from people across the land is they're just happy to see the guys onto the field. And that's great. And the executives and the players and the coaches are happy to be playing. But what do we expect come kickoff August 5th? It's going to be awesome. We're all going to be watching. But is it going to be the caliber of football that we expect as CFL fans? I don't think that it will be. We thought the same thing about the NFL last year.
Yeah.
There was no preseason, and you wouldn't have not known there was no preseason. You wouldn't have known. Wouldn't you agree?
That's right. Yeah, you really didn't know, and you thought this is going to be sloppy for 3 or 4 weeks, but that just wasn't the case. They find ways to simulate that in practice and to get going, and the games matter so much. When it's for real, the players know it's for real. So I think we'll be okay in the CFL. I really do. I think it'll take some time to figure out who the key guys are. That's going to take some time, but that's the case every year because your veterans aren't playing all of preseason anyway.
Yep.
So
this is what we want. The people are making noise here today, and I know there are people watching on the Game Plus television network all across the country and the continent, but there are a lot of people watching streaming, and that's where they comment. If you're watching on television, you can write us here, like Georges in Montreal or Adam in Hamilton. But Sinclair Russell in Northern Ontario says, thanks, Rod. You have actually rekindled my interest and love for the CFL. This is so much fun. Happy Monday, sports fans. Hey, CFL. No charge. Riley Clement, watching on YouTube, says, went to the green and white scrimmage on Saturday. Lots of interceptions and sloppy football. But number 26, Godfrey Onyaka, threw a ball around with fans for about 10 minutes. Hope he makes the team. That is the stuff that we all miss, and I remember or love about the CFL. And I saw Jeff Reinbold doing the exact same thing when Hamilton came to town. But I also saw it in the National Football League, and I have photos of it from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. It's 11-11. 11, by the way. There's a new one. Yee. They do it in the NFL, too. For those to say that it's the no-fun league, that is not a thing. Do you want to see my photos?
Oh, yeah.
I should do that photo album someday.
No, for sure.
Our clock's a little off. Darren Workman writes in and says, I'm coming in late from Smoky Salt Lake. Oh, you got it too, huh? He says, I feel for Jordan Love. He's going to get thrown to the Wolves. Aaron Rodgers complained no weapons, and your second-year backup now has to try to win with him? Well, hang on. Where's the report that Aaron Rodgers is saying he's now going to report to training camp? Who's saying that? Is it Schefter? Clark says there's a few people. Oh, it's Rappaport.
Yeah, Rappaport had
Ian Rappaport.
Yeah.
Now it's 11-11. We got to get the clock fixed. We can't.
Yeah, that's about
we can't mess with the gods.
That's about an every week and a half thing. The guys back there are like, yes, Rod, we know it's always out.
And then they come and tune it up?
Well, yeah. We'll tune it up again today.
Well, I don't know. It's national television. It's not that important, I guess.
We seem to do okay.
Where else were we? Riley Clement is writing in with the quarterback depth chart for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Hey, it's Cody Fajardo and then everybody else. Is it okay to have two spirit animals? Tom Brady and Cody Fajardo?
They're pretty good.
Yeah. Again, the experts are saying that the Tom Brady ball into the jugs machine video from the weekend is doctored and fake. And
I'm not having it.
Well, okay, face off. Face off for the Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek Restaurant. Was Tom Brady's video fake? And for those that didn't see it, Tampa was lining up. How far was he from the jugs machine?
9 yards to start, 10 yards.
Okay, ish.
Yeah.
And then further for the third one.
That's right.
And he threw the football right between the spinning wheels of the jugs machine, which is the machine that fires footballs at receivers to warm them up, or football players overall. Threw it right into the middle of it. There's no way it's real. It's like putting a bullet back down the barrel of a gun. Not going to happen. He did it twice, and then the third, and he put it right in the middle of those jugs, 2 spinning wheels, and it spit it right back at him. And then the third time, it went straight up in the air.
Because he knocked the machine over. And trust me, my first thought was, okay, wait, this is in reverse. The thing came to him, and he just caught it like this. And it's actually rewinding. We're watching it in reverse. And then I watched it. I'm like, no, it's not in reverse. And I'm kind of a creative guy, and I'm trying to think, how did they doctor it? And the reason I don't think it's doctored is because I can't figure out how it's doctored. So if I can't figure out how it's fake and how they created this, then I don't know that it's fake.
It's 2021, man. They can do anything.
But
maybe it's all cartoon.
Somebody break it down and show me how
Somebody
it's fake.
said to me, there's no way that Tom Brady would do that. He would never post a fake video. I'm like, really? Really?
He shot and blew up the moon, okay? I know that was doctored.
Right.
How about
He also didn't deflate footballs before the AFC Championship game, for which he was suspended 4 games. So, chill.
But it was a pretty awesome video.
It's a fantastic. Well,
it was super
that
cool.
guy, is he in charge of his own marketing or what? I mean, Tom literally doesn't care. Remember when he was leaving New England and he posted the video Super Bowl week of him either walking into Gillette Stadium or out of Gillette Stadium? It was black and white, and you couldn't tell because it was a shadow. Nobody's talking about the damn game after that. They're all talking about, was Tom Brady going to be back with New England, which incidentally, he wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
We haven't even got into America's team, Dallas Cowboys. We're going to have to do that a little later on in the program. Yes, they're winning the NFC. But their quarterback needs to stop talking. John in Winnipeg says, I'm so happy the CFL is returning. I'm not going to complain on any of it. It's back. Let's respect the rich history of the league. Oh, I think we're doing that. Can you put up the comment from Jack in Vulcan, Alberta? It's about to slip off the screen here. It's not too far down. He goes, there are going to be injuries more than normal because with no preseason, the guys are not going to be in game shape. There is a huge difference between practice shape and game shape. Well, will the naked eye be able to discern the difference if you're watching on television? I really don't think the naked eye will be able to discern the difference.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'll see the injuries.
Yeah.
That'll be hard to miss. But we've seen all kinds of. Darian Durant popped a Achilles before halftime of week 1 in what year was that? 17?
Yeah.
2015. 2015. And the whole season went up in smoke. There was no pandemic that they were coming back from. So, yeah, we'll all be tuning in. Let's take a timeout. The warm-up is brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken Fan Club. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook, live streaming daily, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show rolls on. It is episode number 535. We're coming to you from the bunker. Just before we jump into NHL draft recap and some hockey talk with Nate Ewell from College Hockey Inc., returning to the program. From our viewers on the state of the CFL with where they're at, no preseason. Lance Ford, Coach Ford, says when the real games begin, there will be no more injuries than before. Injuries will happen because it is a contact sport. All Achilles injuries are mostly done without contact. Great show, Rod, as usual. Thanks, Coach. Jeff in Winnipeg, wow, do I feel old. Josh Doan was taken in the draft this past weekend. I still remember when his dad was drafted by the Jets 1.0. And Darren in Salt Lake City, Darren Workman says, with no preseason games, how many players do you think may get overlooked and not make a roster? Unfortunately, a lot. But we're still, the pandemic ain't over, right, Moose? It ain't over.
That's right.
Here's the slogan, not we're all in it together. It's hashtag sucks to be you. That hasn't ended yet.
Not yet.
Okay. All right, Nate Ewell, appreciate him finding the time joining us from College Hockey Inc. from the Eastern Seaboard. How you doing, Nate?
I'm great, Rod. Good to see you again.
Yeah, I appreciate the time and always fun to chat hockey here in late July. I really enjoyed the draft of the weekend, particularly round one with a close friend's son going, Cole Sillinger, Mike's kid. Touched off just some interesting picks throughout the weekend. What was your take overall on the NHL draft in terms of breakdowns of schools and leagues and all the rest?
Well, it was a big night, certainly Friday night for the University of Michigan. You saw that right off the top with 4 of the 5 first picks, either Michigan current players or recruits. And that's an incredible haul, unprecedented. They got a 5th first-round draft pick in terms of a recruit coming in this fall, later in the first round. So they had more first-round draft picks than any other school had draft picks overall, which is pretty impressive.
Well, that's a very good place to start. Because, like I said, I had a friend in Vegas go, what is with, we're talking about the Golden Knights picks, and then he's like, Michigan, what a powerhouse. And I have a question for you about Owen Power, but overall, was this sort of just an anomaly, or is this something we should get used to with the Wolverines, this many picks this high up in the draft?
It's definitely unique. I don't think it's something that you could count on seeing maybe ever again when you have that many high picks. It also doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. 3 of those guys, 3 of the top 5 picks were on their team this past year, and they finished 3rd in their conference. So that's a lot of talent going up against a talented field in college hockey and young players. So that certainly plays a role in that as well. But it really was made for a fun night and a fun event for Michigan fans, for college hockey fans. But I don't think it's anything you can count on seeing again.
Okay, because I'm a junior guy, junior A, major junior here in Canada. My niece is going to play NCAA this fall in Mercyhurst. As a matter of fact, she was in a tournament in Boston this weekend. So it's not like I don't know what's going on, ish. But was Michigan nowhere near the Final Four? That's the thing that surprised me a little bit. Yeah, they were a high-quality team for sure. They actually didn't end up being able to participate in the NCAA tournament because of COVID. They had a positive test and had to pull out of the tournament. It would have been great to see how they would have done, because they certainly were playing better at the end of the year than they were in the beginning. And that's to be expected when they had 3 17-year-olds start the season on their roster. So if they could get these guys back, yeah, I think they have to be the favorite next year, given the amount of talent that they have. But when you're competing against older, stronger competition, having that young talent doesn't always necessarily equate to success. Okay, Nate, thank you. We're getting to the bottom of this. And by the way, I'm not ignoring you. I'm calling up an article here from the Cambridge Record in Southern Ontario. I guess if we're correct, we're chalking up all the Michigan guys somewhat to a COVID situation, because there's a junior B kid from the Toronto Wings. Junior B went in the NHL draft on the weekend, but he was playing Junior B in the Toronto League because he would have normally been with the Hamilton Bulldogs, and the OHL didn't play. So COVID clearly had an effect on these draft picks on the weekend, no matter what league they came from.
It certainly did, and NCAA hockey was lucky enough to get most of the season in. We mentioned Michigan had to pull out of the NCAA tournament, but they played a good number of games to showcase their talents. And one of those players, Matty Beniers, who was the 2nd overall pick, he was supposed to go to Harvard. And when they canceled their season, he said, well, you know what? I'm going to go to Michigan instead. A smart kid, was headed to Harvard. Instead, he took pre-med classes at Michigan, and now he's the 2nd overall pick to the Seattle Kraken, first draft pick in their franchise's history.
Yes.
But certainly COVID had an impact.
By the way, the kid's name for our Southern Ontario viewers was Chandler Romeo, and he went straight from Junior B to the Ottawa Senators in the 7th round, 202nd overall. You think that's not an anomaly? By the way, BW Goldstrom watching on YouTube says Josh Doan, drafted on the weekend, is the 3rd generation of Doan to be drafted into the NHL. His grandfather, Bernie, was drafted by St. Louis in 1971. So, yeah, everybody's getting into the draft discussion here. Darren had a question about Owen Power, and I'll ask it on your behalf, Moose. He wonders if you think that the big, strapping 6'6" defenseman, number 1 overall to Buffalo, could be the next, what'd you say, high-impact player?
Yeah, can he be a franchise-altering
franchise? Well, they're comparing him to Victor Hedman, and I would say he's a franchise guy. Is he indeed the next Victor Hedman?
That's a good comparison to make, and certainly a good one if you're Owen Power. But I think when you see his size and you see how smooth he plays the game, he was able to come in as a 17-year-old and have a huge impact at the NCAA level. So I've got to think he's a franchise defenseman like they project. And certainly when you're 6'6" and can do all those things that he can do, Victor Hedman's a great comparison.
Checking in from our viewers, Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York says, that's right, Michigan was supposed to play in the Fargo Regional of this year's NCAA tournament. So COVID got him. There's another one. I. Sinclair says, how much coverage does college hockey receive on broadcast television? Let me just go first there, Nate. I don't know what it is in America. You're going to have to answer that. But this year, in the absence of our normal hockey, I was watching a lot of it on TSN. And I was really enjoying it. And I'm like, these announcers are good. I think one game I was watching was like Duluth versus Colorado. Would they play? It was something like
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I was really enjoying it. But what's the broadcast situation in America for NCAA hockey?
TSN does a great job in Canada, as you mentioned, picking up games. In the States, it can be great if you have the sports package. I have DirecTV and get the sports package there, and I'm looking at between 5 and 7 games on every Friday and Saturday night, which is terrific. It depends a little bit on your market because most of that is regional sports network coverage. So if you're in New England like I am, Nesson has the games. If you're in Minnesota, Fox Sports North has the games. And there's a little overlap. If you can get a satellite subscription like I do, then you can see a lot more.
Any idea what the ratings data would be on that? Have you ever heard or seen?
We get ratings numbers from the Frozen Four, which is the national championship, and this year was well watched. It was one of the highest, I think, in the last 5 years, so something like that. I don't know exactly the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I say, we watch as much hockey as we can. CHL just signing a brand new deal with TSN this year. It's a 30-game package, but you got to start somewhere. So, yeah, but I hope they continue with the NCAA hockey in Canada. We got 5 channels, for God's sakes, of TSN. We should be able to fill them with some NCAA hockey. What were your other takeaways from the NHL draft on the weekend, aside from the Michigan thing?
Well, speaking of Canada, one of the really cool things was having 3 NCAA Canadians taken in the first round. You had 2 of those at Michigan, Owen Power, as you mentioned, Kent Johnson, who's from British Columbia, and then Corson Kuhlmans, who was playing in the Alberta Junior League. He was playing for the Brooks Bandits, same as Cale Makar. And he's now headed to the University of Wisconsin, a big two-way defenseman that can kind of do it all. So if you're playing in the same place as Cale Makar, on the same path as Cale Makar, and you're a good two-way defenseman, that's a pretty good thing to compare yourself to. Maybe someday he'll sign a $9 million a year contract too.
What about all the brother combinations coming together, by the way? What's your take on that? The Hughes brothers, the Doc brothers are Western League guys, but and then the Fleury brothers both being drafted by Seattle in the expansion draft. Frankly, I like it. Your thoughts on those reunions?
It's a family sport, right? It's a game that you get introduced to by your family, and it's great to see it carry through all these years later. You mentioned Doan. Josh Doan is headed to Arizona State, 2nd round pick. That's the highest pick that they've ever had. Of course, they've only been around for about 5 or 6 years. So short history of Sun Devil hockey, but already making an impact at the NHL draft.
If you don't mind just dabbling away from the draft, well, this kind of draft for a second, how do you think the Kraken will fare, knowing that there's a long ways before training camps open up and they've got $20+ million in cap space? But what did you think of their selections on Wednesday night?
They look to have what I think is a solid team. I like the defense especially. I wonder if the goals are there, and I wonder if that's something that they're going to target in free agency. But you also think back to Vegas, and I certainly didn't look at the players that they selected and say, well, geez, Jonathan Marchessault is going to be a 30-goal scorer or anything like that. I mean, the opportunity for guys to go to Seattle and make a bigger impact than they have in the past is there. And it's the track record has been there for Vegas. So if Seattle was able to identify some of those diamonds in the rough like Vegas was, then they could be pretty good.
Our viewers are really enjoying the chat. Nate, Dean Tix is watching in Green Bay. He says, hey, a Badgers mention on Wisconsin. That's from Dean. Todd Pinkney says, is that a picture behind Nate of all the hockey mascots? Do you have a mascots picture? What are the pictures on the wall? What's the story there?
It sure is. All the mascots in the National Hockey League. My son got me that for Christmas a couple years ago. I proudly display that. I've also got Princeton lacrosse in the background. I know that's the national sport of Canada, but we like it down here in the States. I'm a Princeton grad and was proud to be there when they won a couple national championships.
That is exactly right. Who's your favorite NHL mascot, Nate?
Well, I worked for the Washington Capitals for 8 years, so let me go with Slapshot in D.C.
Oh, how about that? For the lack of knowing any, I got to go with Gritty. He's for sure the most famous NHL mascot. I don't even know who the mascot is of my Vegas Golden Knights. Moose, do the Leafs have a mascot?
I can look back
Carlton the Bear.
Hey?
Carlton the Bear.
Carlton the Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, you obviously have them, Nate. Yeah, good point. Can you look into that and let me know? Who is the Golden
Chance
Knights?
is your Vegas Golden Knights mascot.
I get it.
How about that?
Chance.
Yes, Chance. Last question before I let you go. Jack Eichel, I was asked on Winnipeg radio today where I think he's going to end up. I see his agent saying this morning that they're going to have a decision soon, but they didn't hint where. Where do you think Jack Eichel's playing hockey this fall?
I know some people in Boston who would like to see him back here, but I don't think that fits necessarily into the Bruins cap situation. Let me roll the dice and say Minnesota's ready to make a splash.
Wow, and they do have some money available too. I said that Calgary just doesn't seem to go away, and I think there's an atomic bomb's going to go off in Calgary at some point here before the end of August, maybe into September. But I guess we'll find out. Nate, this has been a fantastic hockey discussion. Anything you'd like to mention before we let you go?
No, I appreciate it, Rod. Great to be on here as always.
All right, Nate. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of summer.
Thanks, you too.
Nate Ewell joining us from College Hockey Inc. The moose is loose. We have our own. We have a few mascots around here.
And we're going to get a squirrel.
Ricky the iguana, Monty the squirrel, and you got Moose there.
Yeah.
Monty the squirrel uses the Manscaped on his nuts. Chris Fox, watching on YouTube, says, love the lacrosse shout-out. Canada East versus Canada West for World Junior Lacrosse Championship in 2 weeks in Manitoba at Bell MTS. How about that?
All right.
I think
How about that?
We're talking about making some, a few road trips here before the summer is out. What's the COVID situation in Winnipeg, by the way? Can somebody let me know? On the Prairie Mobile text line, are we able to roll in there like old days? Because I think Winnipeg's the first place we got to go.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Our sales manager, Jim, is in Calgary, and he would say that Calgary's the first place that we got to go.
Yeah.
And we were personally invited to Edmonton. I think we might be gone every weekend for the month of August.
Prairie Tour coming up.
Chris Fox on YouTube says, double vaxxed and you're in. Well, we're good.
We're good. That's for the games, though, isn't it? The football
I think
games?
the whole province. I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
the
know
interesting thing about Manitoba, here in the neighboring province, when they close the highways, they don't actually close the highways because of a storm. The RCMP thing here is, we're going to say that we're closing the highways. But if you're stupid enough to go out and drive in this, good luck. But in Manitoba, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Look at him.
They literally.
They swing. Well, it's like, I think it's like this. They
out.
swing the gate across the highway. Trust me, I've been trapped in that.
It's closed.
You're not getting across.
You better have bolt cutters and the whole deal to open it up if you want.
A very Canadian thing.
Yeah.
Chris Fox says, let me know if you need a hotel room. Which hotel is it? And you're not getting me that quick.
And why? Yeah.
If we're going to Winnipeg.
No, I know. But, like, not sharing a room. Do you run the hotel?
You were willing to share a room in Montreal.
Yeah, with you. Not with just anybody.
Not with Monty the squirrel.
Yeah, exactly.
Who didn't use Manscaped.
How about that?
But if Chris runs a hotel,
we're going to take a time out.
Look at this.
Oh, the Delta Marriott.
Chris, I think we'll talk.
A live show at the Delta Marriott. I'm in.
Yeah.
And or Bell MTS. But it's now Canada Life Center. Or he said that.
Yeah, no.
Listen, we got a sports update to get to.
Ooh.
And we got a lot of topics on the table here today. This is the Golden Corral of sports talk. That's what you're watching. And we'll delve into it all when we come back on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
This is literally the kind of show that we've wanted from day one, right, Moose?
Oh, yeah.
Entertaining, fun, but a lot of viewer interaction.
That's right.
And we've had it from all across the continent today. And before I read a sports update, I just want to get to a few more messages here. George in Montreal about his invitation for us to come to Montreal August 27th for the Alouettes Ticats home opener for the Owls. And we said, are they waiting to arrest us there because we broke into McGill Stadium last time we were there? But technically, the door was unlocked. So,
yeah,
that's not really breaking in. George in Montreal says, don't worry about the trap. We'll burn the cop cars. Ha, ha, ha. I have to say, I'm just kidding. Never know these days. George in Montreal's a funny guy.
Spicy.
Ray in the 6 says, Rod, I'm just wondering your thoughts on the Habs' controversial first-round pick, Logan. They say it Mailloux?
Mailloux, I believe.
Mailloux?
Yeah.
Especially after he asked teams not to take him. I understand that he was charged in a sexually explicit situation. I also know that he was convicted, paid the price legally. He's paying the price in public opinion, as are the Montreal Canadiens, by the way. But if you ask what my point is, or what my take is on that, obviously I'm a huge second chance guy, second, third, fourth, fifth chances. I wouldn't be here right now without people doing that for me. The kid's 18 years old. I think a lot of people should sit back and think about what they were doing as a teenager. And would you like your life to be adversely affected for the rest of your life because of doing something stupid? There's a lot to be said for this being a first offense. And this is the case with Logan. He's come out and said that. He's not a guy that's denied any wrongdoing. He's fallen on his sword, which, by the way, when you do that in life, it'll take you a long ways, but you need to mean it. And he very clearly means it. Now, the Montreal Canadiens are willing to take a gamble on him, clearly put their reputation on him. He's obviously a hell of a hockey player. And they're willing to take all the blowback that comes with it. Life's about choices. If those Habs fans want to burn their jerseys, give up their season tickets because of what this kid did, what he did was terrible. There's no doubt. I'm not defending the kid. What I'm saying is it's a first offense. He's a teen. I'm an advocate of second chances. That's not to say everybody needs to agree with me, but I see where the Montreal Canadiens are coming from, and that's my opinion. What's yours?
I'm 95% of the way there with you. I completely am the same. I agree in second chances. You know, we need to learn from our mistakes. And if we don't learn from our mistakes, then, you know, we got to stop giving you chances if there's no growth, right? Mm-hmm. But the kid asked to not be drafted. It just happened. He said he's got to go mature. You know, I think it would have been appropriate to let it go and, you know, be a team that takes a chance on him in next year's draft and be lining up in the first round to draft him next year or sign him as a free agent as soon as he's available and you know, bring a guy in your team and give him that opportunity. It just seemed weird to draft him in the first round the way it happened. Maybe I'd wait till the end of the draft, pick him right at the end and say, look, you've gone through this draft and haven't been drafted, and if I'm Montreal, I'm going to take you in the last round. But to take him in the first round, it's a little disrespectful to the whole process, I think. But I'm absolutely on board with him getting another chance.
Well, you know, if you're Mark Bergevin, they clearly think a lot of him as a hockey player, and they didn't want to take that risk. He's like, well, take the blowback. We want this hockey player. Sinclair Russell in Northern Ontario says, bang on, Rod. The kid made a stupid mistake. John in Winnipeg, I did a few stupid things as a teen. I think most of us did. Glad I got a second and third chance. Chris Bird in Toronto. Not me. I was an angel. There's guys, and I'm not going to name them, but are personal friends of mine that are far older than Logan, and they've had many chances, and they've continued to blow them, and they're not in sports anymore. You know that even if they drafted him next year, the mob's going to be after him and the team.
For sure.
You know that. And I think Montreal was just willing to bite the bullet now and face it.
But if the first round part is what gets me a little bit, you know, it's like there was no consequences, right, for the kid. I mean, it's a little public opinion for sure, but he's still a first round NHL draft pick. So that's where it gets
Are you just
me.
only worried? Are you worried about the perception of that or the financial aspect of that?
Not neither.
Because that's the difference in millions of dollars.
Little perception and the message it kind of sends, right? That, you know, he asked not to, he didn't want to, he wanted to take his punishment, and he paid it legally and everything, but he wanted to take it and look at,
wow,
I messed up, and now I don't deserve to be drafted in the first round.
It's not his fault they took him in the first round.
No, it's not his fault. That's right. The blame does not go to the kid here.
Sports update, swimmer Maggie McNeil has given Canada its first gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics with a victory in the women's 100-meter butterfly. McNeil is also Canada's first multi-medalist in Tokyo after winning the 4x100 women's swim team, helping them get silver on Sunday. A bronze medal and a near podium finish for Canada in judo. Reigning world champion Jessica Klimkate won bronze in the women's under 57-kilo division, beating a Slovenian opponent. Ricky Rubio scored 20 points, and Spain came back to beat Japan 88-77 in Olympic basketball action. Back home, the Toronto Blue Jays open a 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox tonight. It's Toronto's last series before they return to Rogers Centre on Friday. The Blue Jays had been basketball nomads over the last 2 years due to COVID-19. And Cameron Champ fended off dehydration and crisply putted his way to a 5-under 66, winning the 3M Open by 2 strokes for his third career victory. The 26-year-old champ had 5 birdies and a bogey-free round to finish at 15 under at TPC Twin Cities. Louis Oosthuizen, Jonathan Vegas, and Charles Schwartzel tied for second. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. Thank you, Benny, for providing me breakfast today. The almond coconut was delish. Overtime's next. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel. Offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back. It's overtime. Plenty of time left for it here. Couple comments from viewers. Jamie in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia watching says, how about that? Great show as always to help start the week off right. William in Lloydminster, Canada's only border city, says, speaking of name changes, Houston is open for trades on their quarterback, Deshaun Watson. I wonder who would be interested in a trade. By the way, I had the guy, Chris Bird. I'm not sure if you were paying attention last week. He's like, Rod, Gatineau and Ottawa are border cities. That's 2 cities, Gatineau and Ottawa. Lloydminster's 1, and the border runs right through it. See the difference?
Yeah.
2 different cities. Go to Pig Al's in Gatineau. Tell them I said hi. That's French to you, isn't it?
Yes, a little bit.
Poll question today for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. Our over-under for Canadian medals is 20.5 in Japan. What are you taking? 61% on Twitter says the under.
53% on Facebook is taking the over.
Well, we're starting to rack up a few.
Yeah, it's coming.
Chris Bird says that wasn't me. Okay, I apologize, Chris. Maybe it was Colin in Ottawa that was saying that. I apologize for that. But to the NFL thing, Darren's been waiting for me to go off on Dakota Prescott. I told him in the break, I'm not going off on Dak Prescott. I said what I needed to say in 30 seconds or less. Stop talking, finish training camp, and go out and do your talking on the field. Now, I like Dak seems like a really nice young man. He's done great things for the Cowboys, and he is now the highest paid quarterback in Dallas Cowboys history. A franchise that's had Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman. We don't talk about Romo. I don't. Didn't win anything.
Right.
Tony did a lot of talking.
But put on your ESPN hat for a second. Do you think there'll be a top offense in the NFL?
They were last year.
They were. I mean, before he got hurt, right?
Before he got hurt.
I mean, it was 500 yards a game, right? And when your aerial attack is doing what Dallas was doing, then Zeke can do his thing and everybody can do their thing. Can Dak stay healthy? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, and Zeke Elliott has said, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in listening to the interviews. I get these notifications every day from The Athletic, and I'm subscribed to the Cowboys section of The Athletic. I'm like, I don't even want to read this. Can we get to the regular season, please? You get it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to hear what Zeke has to say. Get out there and start rushing the ball, Zeke, because you were junk last year. And I kind of sit there and I listen to NFL radio every day, and I get upset because they're the Cowboys this, Cowboys that. What's the expectation? I can't do it. You would think that we were Leaf fans. Like, we've won a championship in the color television era. I don't understand why people make so much fun of us as Dallas Cowboys fans, but whatever. And then you watch the same television programming I have. Let's just say it that way.
That's right.
Are you getting tired of the Aaron Rodgers drama? Because it's insane.
It is a lot. It is a lot. And we've had viewers that have said that it's probably going to be a bad situation when he does report because he's had this media circus and now he's walking into the locker room and the teammates are going to roll their eyes. They're not. That's their guy.
Right.
He's their leader. And when you're in that locker room of the Green Bay Packers, you're a Super Bowl contender today with Aaron Rodgers. Without him, you're not a Super Bowl contender anymore. So whether you are annoyed or not, your chances of winning go through the roof with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. I'm not tired of it because it's still news till he reports. But, if he's just going to show up and play week one and when the season starts, nothing's really going to change, then was this all for nothing? It's just a circus for a circus,
So seemed like the Russell Wilson thing was too.
Same thing.
You can't honestly get mad at the NFL for this because they're very good at staying in the headlines. Way better than any other league. And if we don't like it, we don't need to watch it. We watch it every day. So who's the dumb ones? Us, I guess.
Yes.
Deb in Toronto, watching on Game Plus TV Network. She says, I also agree with second and third chances. I agree with both of you, but Darren hit the nail on the head. Having Logan go in the first round was not appropriate in my books. That from Deb. Well, that's the thing where you'd have to take up with the Montreal Canadiens because it's not the kids' fault. Is that what we faced off on?
No. We faced off on Tom Brady's.
Oh, and Tom Brady's thing.
video.
This would have been a good one.
Oh, yeah.
This would have been a good one to face off on. The Mad Greek restaurant with a patio now open, of course, with the finest Greek cuisine in the province and ultimate fan zone moose jaw, UFC moose jaw, now available online, ufcmoosejaw.ca, shipping across the continent. Paul, the Bomber fan in Saskatoon, writes in. He says, "Hi, guys. I just bought my tickets for the Labor Day Classic. This is the Bombers' year for a Labor Day victory."
How about that?
I'm not making any predictions on any games yet. Next week, we will do a CFL preview special. Let's talk about that in today's post-show meeting. What do you say?
That's good.
Getting everybody together here. I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe we can get Rod Smith. I thought I had his phone number, but it turns out I don't. I'm not making predictions yet on anything. Not single game, not standings, nothing. But I will, and you will, and everybody will, and you will. We'll be doing our little prop bet things and, what's the over-under on wins. We're going to be doing all that stuff.
That's right.
See, Jeff, the Stamps fan, is right. He says the Riders have big questions on the offensive line and linebacker. And really, and defensive back, because there was a big injury on the weekend. So you're talking about a 13-5 team coming back from finishing in first place, and they got a lot of question marks. So that's why I don't want to make a prediction on who might win the Labor Day Classic. Let's wait until that week. But it's exciting that people are getting fired up about it.
Well, it really is. And that's why we got to wait till they get on the field. I mean, I saw some of the numbers from the scrimmages across the country, and the Riders specifically, not a lot of the big stars had big days. So we got to wait.
We'll continue it all tomorrow. Hey, we got Rod Smith tomorrow. Nice work, Clark. And Eric Engels of Sportsnet. See you at noon Eastern. Great job, Jordan, by the way. I love the job you did on that.